make your evening, your whole life, and your day. Every single episode is nothing but dismay, so look away, look away, look away. Three children lose
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast entitled Couch Potatoes Unite! Which is based on a blog of the same name because it's all part of a series of fortunate events, naturally. I'm the blogger in question and the self-styled Chief Couch Potato. My name is Kylie and I love TV. If you feel the same, keep listening and or checking out our website, couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com, as you're bound to find some common ground or something you like. For at Couch Potatoes Unite, we're all about the wonders and the unique long-form storytelling of the small screen. CPU, exclamation point, wishes you happy holidays, a happy new year, and a happy 2019, and hopes you've been following releases of brand new episodes of the podcast on Wednesdays, as well as new blog entries on some Tuesdays, and as always we have several more new episodes on the way. Because the panelists and I live lives behind our podcast, the episodes are published once per week. Subscribe to the blog or the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and via Google Play to stay on top of brand new episodes. Episodes already published discuss a variety of shows around the water cooler, including, but not limited to, The Good Place, Game of Thrones, Broadchurch, Stranger Things, iZombie, The X-Files, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Gotham, Schitt's Creek, New Girl, and The Originals. Plus, new episodes are in the works, including revisits for Once Upon a Time, 13 Reasons Why, Orange is the New Black, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Grace and Frankie, Fuller House, American Horror Story, Doctor Who, Supernatural. The DCTU series panel will return for its mid-season roundup of the 4 Arrowverse shows and the multi-show crossover. And the Marvel's Defenders panel will talk Season 3 of Daredevil. We'll be launching new panels covering The Crown, Westworld, Arrested Development, Jane the Virgin, The Americans, Riverdale, and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. We'll be continuing a new feature called Versus, where we'll be comparing shows in a spicy debate. And because we look back at shows now past, we'll be looking back at one of our most popularly requested panels of all time, which is Friends. And I know I've been saying it for like over a year, but they'll be there for you at Central Perk very soon, sometime in early 2019. By the way, did you know that CPU also from time to time goes live? We've been live from bunkers and comedy shows, and we just went live for the 3rd time from Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Plus, we're planning more live appearances and other cool stuff. So make sure you like or follow us at our Facebook page, our Twitter at CPU Podcast, our Instagram at Couch Potatoes Unite, or subscribe to the blog, our YouTube channel, our iTunes channel, our Stitcher Radio channel, or find us on Google Play. In the meantime, if you don't hear a show in this podcast format, fellow panelists and I still write reviews, and we always seek new panelists. So if you have any interest in joining the discussion, say hello by finding us at any of those outlets I've mentioned. At the very least, stop by and leave us a thumbs up, comment, or review. We like feedback, even if it's a series of unfortunate events. Ching. Today we're around the water cooler and revisiting a series of unfortunate events based upon the series of novels by Lemony Snicket. If you're not already aware, and if you did not listen to the first episode in this panel's history, you should know that from time to time your chief couch potato and main moderator, that's me, needs a break, particularly when I think others are more passionate about the show we're discussing in the moment. Case in point, this particular panel series, which I'm not here to moderate, fortunately or unfortunately. Rather, frequent panelist Nick returns to the moderating microphone once again to continue the series of not-so-fortunate happenstances, and is joined anew by co-panelists Kristen, Kelsey, Selene, Jenn, and yours truly. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome back Nick to the moderating microphone. Take it away, Nick!
Thanks, Kylie, and thanks, Kelsey, Selene, Kristen, and Jenn for joining us in this discussion of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is an American black comedy television series from Netflix. It was developed by Mark Huddis and Barry Sonnenfeld, and it stars Neil Patrick Harris and Patrick Warburton. The first season premiered January 2017 and consisted of 8 episodes adapting the first 4 books of the series. The second season was released on March 30th, 2018, and consisted of 10 episodes adapting books 5 through 9. And the third season will be released January 1st, 2019, and consists of 7 episodes adapting the remaining 4 books. In Season 2, we continue to follow the Baudelaire children through a series of unfortunate events as they attempt to stay ahead of Count Olaf and uncover the mystery behind a secret society from their parents' past. Is everybody ready to jump in?
Sure!
Ready?
Alright, start by going around introducing yourselves and using the standard CPU exclamation point rating system. You will tell us what your interest in the show is. So, let me read those character descriptions for you. Did you watch the show because you care about the Baudelaire children and want to find out exactly what happened to them? In fact, you have taken notes and searched for clues to aid you with your investigation like Lemony Snicket. You are fascinated by the show and can't wait to tie your hair back and figure out how all the pieces of the show will fit together like Violet Baudelaire. You enjoyed watching the show, but it just made you more interested in the books. In fact, when you finished watching the show, you had to find the nearest library and read all the books in the series from cover to cover, like Klaus Baudelaire. You were skeptical of the show at first and watched with the occasional side comment, but by the end of the season you realized you had devoured it with a ravenous appetite, much like Chabo the Wolf Baby, aka Sonny Baudelaire. You didn't really like the show, but there was one thing you might be slightly interested in, so you are going to keep watching until you find out what happened to that sugar bowl. Like Esme's squalor, you only have a passing interest in the show and check in on it just enough to help you get your promotion. You also don't have much time to invest in the show because you, of course, are too busy reading The Pony Party, like Mr. Poe. You tried to watch it, but only caught bits and pieces of it because you were too busy being stuck in an elevator, fish, or statue to catch all of the season like the Quagmires. You hated the show and the Baudelaire children. You would rather spend your time starring in a play or staring at yourself in a mirror. In fact, you went so far to hide that you were watching the show that you wore a different disguise every time you watched, like Count Olaf. You watched the show because your boss made you, and you basically just do whatever the rest of the group does like any member of Count Olaf's acting troupe. Or you didn't watch the show because you might be dead like Beatrice. So, which one of you cake sniffers want to go first?
I'd like to clarify who the boss is in that second to last one.
It was intentionally non-specific.
Okay, I don't want to go first.
I'll jump on the grenade. I'll go first.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi. It's weird that it's coming from Kylie, not from Nick.
He's
So
sleeping.
last time I was Lemony and Klaus, and Violet is in parentheses with quotation marks around it. So I'm assuming I was all three because
Explain that.
I can never choose just one.
I think you threw it in like as a
Later?
little, yeah.
Probably. Okay, so with that being said, I'm still going to choose two because it's my thing.
Yeah.
So for this season, I am definitely Violet still. I still want to see how everything fits together come season 3 when the show is done. But unfortunately, season 2 didn't hold my interest as much as season 1, so I'm also going to be Mr. Poe because I did do other things while the show was on Netflix.
Oh.
So
You were reading The Pony Party.
I was sure I was reading The Pony Party.
This is a shocking revelation.
It was still good, it just wasn't as good as season 1.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go next. Hi,
All right.
I'm Selene.
Hi, Selene.
And I am floored by that comment because I thought this season was so much better than the last one. I'm thrown by that and I don't know how to...
Well, every panel has to have a black sheep. This time it's me.
It's usually me.
This
I'm giving Kelsey a break.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very tiring being the black sheep.
I'll take this one for you.
Thank you.
And according to this, last time I was Lemony and then progressed to a Klaus and somewhat of a Poe, but this time I am all Violet. I thrown those all out the window and now I'm just a Violet. I am very much fascinated and I cannot wait to eat more of the show and just figure out how it all fits together. And
Did you tie your hair back?
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Her hair is tied back.
Rather than
Oh, it is tied
that,
back.
yes.
She's
tell it's the
literally
hat.
a Violet right now.
All right. With a lion's cap.
Yep. Well,
Hopeless
that's
optimist.
it was free from work.
Fair.
All right, thanks, Selene.
Moving right along.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. We'll just
That makes sense.
go, yes. Hey, I'm Kelsey.
Hi,
Hi,
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Hey, I don't have long hair, but I'm also Violet. I forgot to say, so last time I was Lemony and then Poe and then Lemony again. But this time I'm all Violet. I was trying to figure out what's going on. I want to know.
Well, I'm Jenn.
Hi, Jen.
So last time I was Lemony I think it was like towards the beginning I was Lemony, and then towards the end of season 1 I think I became Violet. This time around I think I'm probably still Violet, just like from start to finish for season 2. Did have my hair tied back. I do have long hair, but I think at this point I didn't think it was as bad as the one episode or the 2 episodes based on the one book that was in season 1, but there were a couple episodes that I wasn't at least a big fan of in season 2. But overall, I still think it was still better than how, like, season 1, like, just how they, like grew up.
Okay.
Are you ready, Kylie?
I guess I am ready, Nick.
Yeah, you don't get to go last this time.
I guess not. Well, I'm Kylie. Hi. I don't even know what to say. Last time, apparently, I was between Sunny and Poe. That sounds right. So, Kristen's advertising black sheepness. I thought I was the black sheep on this panel.
Well, now there's 2 of us.
Okay, fine.
Maybe I'm more of the gray sheep if you want to be the black sheep. That's fine.
I don't know, because I'm sliding up the scale.
Oh,
I would still remain Sunny, although I take exception to Chavo the wolf baby. Because I was skeptical of the show at first, and I did watch with the occasional side comment, but now I have devoured it with a ravenous appetite, sans wolf baby. And then I would also add now Klaus, because this season I liked better than season 1, and I am actually more interested in reading the books now.
All right. Well,
I don't think
welcome.
you can separate the Chavo from the Sunny.
I did.
they are one and the same.
This is not my disguise.
It's just Sunny with a unibrow, right?
Oy.
Yeah,
And a dirty face.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
she is the wolf baby.
All right. Well, I am still Nick.
Hi, Nick. Still Nick.
Yeah,
Hi, Nick.
Hi. I was Lemony last time, and I'm still Lemony because I did enjoy this season even more than season 1. I feel like it. Again, it's because of what the books do, but it's less formulaic as the first 3 stories. So it's interesting to watch it kind of change. These unfortunate events get much more unfortunate as time goes on.
Oh, R.I.P. Sarah Rue's character.
And Nathan Fillion.
And Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Man.
What a death in this kid's show. So let's jump it all over the place already.
Who's moderating this?
So let's just discuss the whole season. What did you like? What didn't you like? Anyone want to jump in with something other than a death?
I did really. One of my favorite parts of season 2 was the addition of Sarah Rue and Nathan Fillion as agents of the VFD. Mm-hmm. They were awesome. They were my favorite part of season 2, and then they died.
You didn't follow the instructions.
I didn't, but I don't care. Let the black she's the black sheep. Kelsey gets it. She understands me.
I've been there.
Yeah. But yeah, they honestly, their characters were so much fun, and all the different disguises that Sarah Rue had as she was being introduced were just delightful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, loved the 2 of them. I love Nathan Fillion and Sarah Rue to begin with anyway, so the fact that they were in it and they played together, they had such good chemistry, and I loved them when they were on screen together. It was just a delight.
Agreed.
I think Nathan Fillion was an awesome person to play a character related to Patrick Warburton. He did that really well. Mm-hmm. You could believe them as siblings.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to announce that I can now tell the difference between Patrick Warburton and John Hamm.
That's a good thing.
Very good.
John Hamm would also be a good addition to a Snicket Brother lineup.
He would be a perfect one because I watched the whole first season until the last episode without realizing he was not John Hamm. That's how
awesome.
good at that I am. I don't know. That's all I had to say.
Okay.
For now.
I love Nathan Fillion so much, and I just wish he'd had a scene with Neil Patrick Harris for a Dr. Horrible callback. Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one thing we were missing.
Yes.
And Felicia Day.
And Felicia Day. Well, Sarah Rue was kind of the, requisite redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felicia Day's a little busy on Mystery Science Theater now. So.
Indeed.
And she's doing a great job on that piece.
Yeah.
I love Felicia. So we meet that character, the librarian, in the first episode, the Austere Academy. How do we feel about how that episode picks up? Some of the new characters we meet between the triplets, or twins as Count Olaf calls them, and Nero, and Carmelita Spatz.
Carmelita Spatz.
Carmelita.
She annoyed me.
Listen, I have a singing student who literally looks like that child and also acts like her.
Oh,
I already told her.
Okay. Fair enough.
So she's aware of
Yeah, I showed her
At least
pictures.
she's aware.
I was like, holy cow, I did not know you were in this show. And then I looked up on IMDb and it's not her.
Aw.
But yeah, I liked the Prufrock Preparatory School story. I liked the triplets, and that was an interesting twist to the puzzle that I wasn't expecting because I haven't read the books.
Yes, I also haven't read the books. Is Selene the only one who's read them?
I haven't read past 3 apparently because I thought I had read 4, but then we watched the episodes and I was like, I have no idea. Probably listened to that book on tape and fell asleep during it. It's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we did talk extensively about your habit of falling asleep in our last episode.
Yes, this would have been because it was a drive somewhere. While I was younger, I wasn't the one driving.
Although that has happened before too.
There was a sign missing on I-75 because of me.
I'm sure they've replaced it.
Watch out for Selene.
I've stopped driving that late at night. It's okay.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
We want you to be safe. Safety first, kids.
Yep.
So, not that I want to find out more
How do you
about
segue
Celine's
from that?
driving habits. We do find Count Olaf on the side of the road as well in the show. That's my best attempt to say.
So honestly, I'm impressed.
Right? Their car breaks down. We don't know if Selene ran them off the road.
Was me.
I don't remember if I particularly liked the Austere Academy. I think of this grouping, it was probably my least favorite.
I think
Agreed.
I would agree. I didn't mind it, but I think they definitely got better as time went on, because we already talked about Nathan Fillion, but you don't get too much of him there. And
Sarah Rue is
the Sarah Rue,
Yeah.
I love her as the librarian, but then as she becomes part of the VFD, that becomes more entertaining to watch. And I mean, that actress playing Carmelita Spatz does her job by being super annoying.
Yep, super detestable. Basically, your standard spoiled brat.
Who looked like a
Maybe
weird
a little
version
too
of
well.
Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evil.
Which added, I think, a lot to why she was so annoying. Not that I don't like Shirley Temple, don't get me wrong, but just that the
little saccharine
her look,
like,
it just
extra bouncy curls
Yes.
for her extra horrible
personality.
Also, Nero is probably one of, not annoying characters, but he is like far into the ignoring the kids. They don't care. They're in a shack with crabs on the floor.
Yeah. That's right.
So
Who was
weird.
that again?
Yeah.
Gary Beach?
He was the principal, I thought.
Oh, the principal.
Yeah, the
the
headmaster.
character? Yeah. He was the vice.
The vice.
Yeah, but there wasn't
Oh,
a
my bad,
headmaster,
Vice.
He was just so obsessed with his violin playing and how great he was.
which I didn't
Yeah,
understand how it played at all, with the strings
Yeah, he
all
was
over the
super
place.
annoying. I didn't like him.
No.
I thought he was just milk toast.
We do get more of Larry the waiter.
Yes.
Oh,
This
Larry the
season.
waiter.
Yeah.
Slowly freezing to death, but he
Oh.
does survive. The antics, I go back to my childhood. I found the movie Follow the Bird annoying because Big Bird was always like right there.
Follow that bird.
I apologize. But that's what the book felt like. It was always right there, and the kids never could find it with all their answers in it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is Larry's
Yeah.
story, is having the book to bring to them.
I have nothing to add about it.
Nothing to add. And that whole first episode, we don't get much of Count Olaf. He doesn't have a disguise at all until he becomes the gym teacher at the very end of the first episode.
Yes.
Which was okay because they had so much other stuff to introduce us to.
Yeah, it was such a...
like a setup episode.
Yeah, without being
Exposition.
the
Yeah.
exposition
Like a-
episode, it was such a...
Yeah.
And maybe that's why the other ones are more entertaining, because they were setting up a lot.
And like this entire arc was so different from the first arc because now it's not just trying to get the money from the kids. There's all these other things. Now the VFD's involved, and you have Snicket and Sarah Rue's character, and once
Livia.
Esme Squalor joins, everything just gets
Yeah.
all screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little... It's a lot different from the first season, which it feels like they knew exactly where to break up the books for each season. The mill, ending with the mill kind of helps transition into this for season 2. And then, of course, they the Baudelaires can't stay too long in the same place, so they are threatened with expulsion due to their slumping grades. How did we feel about their teachers? Where you just have to... What did you have to memorize? The foods that he ate? The anecdotes that he told?
Sounds like college.
One teacher.
Worst college ever.
Yeah.
I
One
work
teacher
for
else.
college. I can't subscribe.
It's okay. I'll take this one.
All right.
Then the other teacher, they were measuring just random things in the room, and she was plotting her bank heist.
Oh yes, I liked her
Oh yeah.
because she wasn't taking her lack of good pension lying down.
Well, and he, the male teacher, had that cold sore that was disgusting.
I mean, the whole austere academy was very austere, Nick. It was just very depressing, and except they met, the other two kids
Yeah.
that were not triplets. So
They were triplets. There was just two of them left.
I know.
I did like their mascot at the austere academy.
What was it?
The dead horse. I agree.
And their
They
slogan.
beat that.
You can't beat
Yeah.
that. But
And what was their saying? You can't beat a dead horse. Or memento mori, everything dies. That was like the whole school's
Yeah.
slogan. So, if nobody has anything more to say about the austere academy,
It was real sad.
and
There
it
were
was
crabs
disgusting.
and there
Crabs.
Yeah.
well,
They lived in
there's
a
an
crab
orphan
shack.
shack. It was the orphan
It was the
shack.
orphan shack.
And then they
But
moved
there were
the...
crabs in it.
Well, for some reason, the light scared them away. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
They were like cockroach crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
A
scattered.
little bit.
Yeah.
It was just, that one was really hard to get back into. And I think it was because, I think you said it, there was a lot more setup involved in it, and it was depressing as it was, so it was like, uh-oh. But it got better!
Yeah, we moved on up to the Ezrat's elevator.
Ersatz.
Airsats. I'm not good at reading.
Oh,
The Airsats elevator.
yes.
And this is where we meet Esme Squalor for the first time, is
Yes,
that right?
I love Lucy
Yes.
Punch
Dude.
so much.
She has been like a great, solid villain for decades.
Yeah.
Like I remember her in like the 10th Kingdom back in the day.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
I-
yeah.
She was
Very
she
much
was,
enjoyed the
She
10th
was an
Kingdom.
evil shepherdess villain in the 10th Kingdom.
I
I have it. We can watch
remember
it.
She
Okay.
You will
murdered
love it.
Wilf.
Again.
It is really good.
Yeah, it's
I just know her from Ella Enchanted.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what
Yep.
it
Yeah, she just she
Was-
plays a good like fairy tale-esque, larger than life
Yeah,
villain.
she's a loud
she's
character.
Was she
so
one of
good.
the? Was she one of the stepsisters in
Yes.
Into the Woods?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
Yep. See,
What's her real name?
Lucy Punch,
Oh, right.
she's got a type and she plays it real well.
a villain
She's-
who's
yeah.
also comedic.
Yeah,
She's so good
so
at it.
Yeah.
good. Yeah, she was another good addition. I will say that.
Yeah, and like we said, we don't get her in the first two episodes, and we don't know she's a villain quite till halfway through. I mean, I think we can
Wasn't she
suspect.
one
Episode
of their...
Guardians.
one of their
Guardians.
Yeah.
And we also, in this episode, I feel like it's the first time, really, Count Olaf is, like, on the run. There's a citywide manhunt for him. So with Esme, we meet Jerome, played by one of my favorite character actors from Arrested Development.
Yes.
I forget his
Yes.
name, I don't have it right here. Tony Hale.
Yes,
Oh,
Tony Hale.
that's right, Buster!
As Buster. He was really fun, and I really wanted the kids to end up with, like,
Me.
staying with
Yeah.
the Guardian, which you knew was not going
Yeah.
to
Because
happen.
it never does.
I liked that house. They toured all over the house, and there were all of these,
Ugh.
like, tricky passageways and fancy things going on. I liked the
Yeah.
house.
Me too.
There was some good cinematography there. I enjoyed the tour of the house, and even I feel like they made it very obvious they were walking through the same room, but they would just change one thing.
Yes. Who
Yeah.
needs a budget?
And this is where the Baudelaires theorize that Olaf is trying to kill Jerome so that he can marry Esme, because Count Olaf is disguised again as a foreign auctioneer named Gunther.
Yes.
We also get a lot of fashionable salmon-themed restaurants.
I forgot about
That was probably a highlight of this one is what's in, what's out, and how it
Yes.
changes so quickly.
Yes.
That was quite funny.
The cilantro.
Yeah,
drinks.
and like the stripes are in, stripes are out. Yeah.
I hate salmon, so cafe salmonella was real hard.
But the pun was so
The pun
beautiful.
was so good.
That's such a good pun, but I also do not like salmon, and I had a hard time as well.
Yes.
I like salmon, and that was
Not
still
again, too.
hard to stomach.
It was too much.
Was there anything else that stuck out
What?
with the AirSats elevator? Did I say it right that time?
Yes. Well, they
Because we
had
didn't even talk about...
Didn't they have the twin triplets and the elevator?
Yeah, they were in the
itself?
elevator.
Yeah, they were trying to rescue them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rescue plan with a fiery fall to the bottom.
Oh yeah,
Oh, jeez.
They should have died.
so much, so much peril.
I don't know. There's a lot of defiance of physics in this show.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
a wee bit.
They build the little hot air balloon.
They're
and-
very fortunate for all of the
Unfortunate
unfortunate
things. Yeah.
Occasionally.
Just
They're
enough to
fortunate
save them
enough.
from dying and not being
Uh-oh.
miserable anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
there
mean,
are.
they're still kind of miserable.
Until the next.
Right.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, got it.
They continue to live. That's,
So towards the end of these
Possibly.
episodes, we, the audience and the Baudelaires don't know that Esme is part of Olaf's scheme, so they try to warn her, but then it's too late and she knocks them back down in the elevator.
Yeah, she's real mean.
She's pretty mean. Should we move on to the Vile Village then?
Yes.
I liked the Vile Village.
The Vile Village was a lot of fun.
I thought so.
I actually didn't like it.
What?
What?
Why didn't you like it, Jen?
I don't know. For me, at least, it seemed like it kind of dragged on compared to some of the other episodes. But maybe it was just because of how they had like the quote unquote guardians involved, since it was like the whole town technically.
I just liked that it was one never-ending like raven metaphor. And I like the fact that we were in an exterior kind of location, so there was a lot more different cinematography involved, and there was like this kind of pall over, you know, it wasn't the gray that you'd seen in the previous season, but it was still kind of this miserable sepia tone.
Yeah.
And it did culminate in the hot air balloon. This was the hot air balloon pair, wasn't it? Or was that the
At the-
carnival?
No, they're...
Yeah, no, this is
the,
Yeah.
the Quagmires float
Weird, like,
away
hot
in the hot
air balloon
balloon
house
at the end.
thing.
Yeah. I liked that whole thing.
Yeah, this was fun. It was the Village of Foul Devotees.
Yes.
So they thought they were going to get some answers because it was abbreviated the VFD.
That was a running theme throughout the season, I thought. There
Yeah.
was
The
something
VFD, yeah.
VFD related in
Never.
every single pair. I don't remember what the two first pairs had, but
I don't either.
Well, the first one was the book that was supposed to explain VFD and
Everything.
finding out that the Quagmires knew about VFD,
Because their parents are
part of it too.
Which is
and
in
their
its-
parents are the parents we thought were
Yeah.
there.
Their parents
Will
are...
Arnett and Kobe Smulders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the Quagmire.
Yeah.
Which we don't see them
Which,
in
by
this
the
season.
way, is the second Arrested Development guy.
He just wasn't in this episode.
Joe.
But even though the whole community is taking care of the Baudelaires, we meet Hector, who's the
Yeah.
handyman,
I like Hector.
prone to some
Ugh.
painting spells. Jen did not like Hector, it sounds like.
Well,
Am I-
she didn't
No,
like
I
this
actually
episode.
liked him.
Oh, I misinterpreted the...
I just didn't like the episode as a whole.
I liked how much it was kind of like the Village.
Yeah.
It was very Village-esque, and I liked it.
Yeah, in this one, we get Esme in disguise. She's the chief of police, and Count Olaf is Detective Dupin. There's just good casting in this show, and there's like the three main council members, I think.
Yep.
And you got the main doc... I forget, he's from Scrubs. One of the doctors from Scrubs. The older guy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember his name right now.
I don't either. Ken
Is it the
Jenkins.
guy that plays Dr. Kelso?
Yeah, his name. The actor's name is, I think, Ken Jenkins.
Okay, yeah,
Sure,
I'm
we'll go
actually,
with that.
I'm watching through Scrubs for the first time right now. I'm like halfway through season 2.
Nice.
I love that show.
Yeah.
He plays a cranky old guy pretty well.
You should.
Yep.
I believe in season 2 you'll see somebody you recognize from the Grand Rapids area.
Yeah.
I think is it 2 or is it 4?
I think it's 4.
I think it's like the
4.
first episode of season 4.
What are you talking about?
Wait, who is it?
No, we're not going to tell you.
You're just gonna have to watch it.
You're
and
just
see.
going to watch. You'll know who we mean when you see it.
All I have to say is the person will do anything for love, but he
Oh,
won't
yeah.
do that.
Just watch, Jen. It's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I love this.
What a weird
Excellent.
Easter egg for the podcast.
Yeah.
That might be edited. Calm down.
You guys aren't making this easy on me.
Welcome
Sorry.
to my life.
Sorry.
Jacques and Olivia, they arrive at the village, and they briefly detain Olaf in the local jailhouse.
Which was fun.
I just really liked in this episode, I hope we had a brief moment where you actually thought that they might
Get away.
win.
Yeah, but you knew they weren't.
I mean, I know, but
There's
it
a
was
whole
like
season 3.
I knew they wouldn't, but it just seemed like so.
It was so close.
It seemed like it was going to
it
go
was
in a
so
different
close.
direction.
But like, since none of us have read the books, do we think that it's gonna end okay?
I haven't read the books, but I know how the series ends because
Oh,
I
okay.
Wikipedia'd
Well, I
everything.
think, except for the very
Spoilers.
last episode, it all ends okay. It doesn't end good.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that the season ended okay.
That's what I said, except for that
Yeah.
episode. But the first 3, it's okay what happens at the end of each episode.
I guess, yeah.
Two-parter.
What's the bar for okay, Nick?
They're
They're,
alive.
yeah,
They
they're
escape
alive
Count
and they
Olaf.
escape from Count
They're
Olaf.
breathing.
They,
Well, I don't know. The next episode, they kind of throw themselves in his trunk. So did they escape him, or did they just attach themselves to him?
There is that. They kind of don't they surrender at the end?
No, they just hide in his trunk.
Oh yeah, they hide in his trunk. They come
Yeah.
down from the ladder. Weren't they dangling off the ladder of the balloon?
No,
At the end
no,
of
next
the
episode.
Vile Village?
Or the next
No.
section.
Yeah.
They
The-
were
you're
going
having the
up the
hostile
ladder on the fire truck to get to Hector and the Quagmires.
Right, the fire truck. I
Mhm.
forgot
The
about
Quagmires
fire
had the book and it was falling apart and they're getting some of the pages, but not
Right.
all.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I remember that image.
Yes, but before that happens, they capture Count Olaf, but then Count Olaf pretends this is where we lose Jacques. We don't get much Nathan Fillion in this season.
No.
He
He's
dies
there enough
pretty
to
quick.
be a lovely cherry on top of the sundae.
He dies with a unibrow, and Count Olaf pretends that Jacques is Count Olaf. And of course, the villagers are just dumb. And we think the kids. Oh, we leave the other episodes with the Quagmires in a red herring, which they're no longer in anymore. They're in a tree filled with ravens. Where did we find them?
No, they were in the
statue.
The statue.
They were in the statue. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
kids would not have survived all of this, right?
No.
Being
nobody's
trapped in a
feeding them.
statue, I actually did react to that when I was watching it. Like, how are they breathing?
Yeah.
But they're getting the little notes out that they're putting together. The Baudelaires are putting
Yeah.
together.
So I guess there's a hole big enough for them to survive.
Yeah. There was air.
So this village is a terrible place to live.
It's vile.
Mhm.
Very vile.
Yeah.
Because
We're doing
they're
real good.
going to burn. They're going to burn Jacques/Olaf at the stake. This is before he dies. Oh yeah, that's right. Olaf dresses Jacques up
Mm-hmm.
as Olaf,
Yep.
and then he eventually gets murdered. Which
By
I really,
burning at the stake.
yeah.
That's just rude.
As dark as this show was, I didn't really think Nathan Fillion was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have anything else to say about the Vile Village, I can segue into the other death that I really, once Jacques died, I thought that there was no way that character was going to die. Because I thought she was going to take it over.
Olivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For more
Yeah.
than
That
2
was a
episodes.
surprise when Olivia died. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Right up until the moment before it happened, I was nope. She's not gonna die. She can't die.
It was brutal.
Ugh.
But I forgot about the hostile hospital.
Yeah, don't forget
Yeah.
that.
I liked that one.
This one was
Yeah.
fun. I
like
enjoyed
creepy
it.
hospitals.
The director said he directed it in the style of Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Really?
Oh.
I
He
did
said
not
if you,
get that.
he and I haven't done this, but he said if you watch that and then watch this episode, you'll see a lot of tie-ins to it.
Interesting.
Awesome.
I enjoyed David Allen Greer.
I did too. I also enjoyed the party planner for the hospital, the party planning committee.
Yeah.
She's from Reno
Yeah.
911, and she's really funny. Also, the sketch show, The State.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Carrie, yeah, I can't remember her name, but she's really good. So David Allen Greer's character, he trusts the kids and he's helping them, and when he thinks that they betray him, that's also very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was Vanessa watching that episode with us?
I don't know. We didn't really let her finish this season.
Is it because they burned somebody at the stake?
No, it's because we were trying to rush through.
Also, I started to get to a point where I was like, should I let my 6-year-old watch this show anymore? It is a
Maybe
little
wait
dark.
till she's a little older.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of like talk about each of these pairs because in some ways season 2, even though there was all these separate couplets, just like in season 1, I felt they were more cohesive
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
as an overall story than season 1 was. Season 1 felt like, and then we're going to the next Guardian, and then Count Olaf, and then we're going to the next Guardian, and then Count Olaf. Whereas this, even though they were doing that,
You felt there was more of like a through line?
There was more of a through line, more connected
Yeah.
to it. It felt like there were more layers to it other
Yeah,
than just these
I would
beats.
agree with that.
So it's hard to kind of like even split apart the episodes in my head just because of that. Aside from the, you know, landmarks like the hospital. Obviously there's a hospital and they're in the hospital and the Library of Records gets destroyed.
One of the things that separates the hospital apart from the other ones is the candy stripers singing throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very
laughed
powerful.
so hard at them.
How did you feel about that, Kelsey?
I thought it was joyful.
Says the singer.
We do in this episode, this is where the sugar bowl comes up, which
Yeah, the sugar bowl.
Yeah.
What the heck
No.
is with the sugar bowl?
I can't imagine a good payoff coming from this, but
yet
hopefully
there's
there's
so much
something.
Is it like a
Focus.
VFD artifact or something? Like, why is it so important?
I don't know, I feel like it belongs to Helga Hufflepuff. But
She had a cup, not a sugar bowl.
she could have both. The
Yeah.
whole set, I bet.
Let's contact J.K. Rowling. I mean, I'm hoping that there is something behind this sugar bowl.
Because Esme's like ready to leave
She's-
Count Olaf.
to
but-
go after
Over
the
the
sugar
sugar bowl.
She's like obsessed. It's like extra obsessed.
And we do see an unknown pair of hands getting it at the end of the hospital episodes. We don't know who they are.
Which
I
is-
have a guess who it is.
Well,
Well, it's
Unless
probably
they-
going to happen
Yeah.
in season 3. It'll be revealed of who has the sugar bowl.
What if it's one of their actual parents?
It could be.
Well, because this is when they get the film, right? Of
Yeah,
Jacques Snicket saying
Saying
someone
that-
survived a fire.
Yeah.
So, but that could be a Baudelaire parent. It could be
The
the,
Quagmire.
It could be
parent.
Could be a quagmire.
We've
or it could be would it be the Quagmire triplet, the third one, or
no,
no?
it could be.
Oh.
That would
Could
probably
be.
be the least depressing.
If it was the triplet.
Yeah. thing.
Why would anything else be depressing if they're alive and stealing a sugar
I mean,
bowl?
I worded it weird, but I think a kid not being burned alive is better than an adult, I guess, is what I'm trying to
see,
say.
that's where
But I
On
see
the
where
scale
you're
of
going.
unfortunate events.
I think the hands did not look childlike.
No.
Well,
No.
I didn't think the person, I guess it all could be
Do you think the
tied.
person who survived the fire is the person who grabbed the sugar bowl?
Not necessarily. I think the person who grabbed
No.
the sugar bowl, which could be the person that survived the fire, was the person at the carnival that Olivia took over from.
Oh, the fortune teller?
Yeah. I'm not sure if that works out time-wise why.
I think it's Lemony Snicket.
It looked like a woman's hands, but he could have been in disguise.
Could have.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, my thinking, at least, like, I saw the trailer for season 3, and, like, Lemony Snicket, like, actually talks with the kids this time, so I'm thinking it might be him.
I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know if I see Lemony as being involved
As
with
part of
sugar
the
bowl.
action?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know who it is. I'm intrigued. I don't have any
Mm-hmm.
predictions. I do think the sugar bowl is important or they wouldn't focus in on it. I mean,
Mhm.
nothing appears by accident. I don't know
Yeah.
why it would be more important than sort of the secret kaleidoscope telescope business they've been, or crypto, whatever you call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The
Things-
cryptex?
Yes, that help decode. I feel like those are more important, but there's just so much focus on the sugar bowl that I feel
It has to be some part of a...
And if
Well, what
it's
if
a
it's
red herring, I'll
related-
shake my fist.
What if it's related to Beatrice?
Could
Because
be.
we get so much about Beatrice in these 2 episodes as well, and the focus on her, and the fact that Esme does not like Beatrice.
What if it's Beatrice?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got...
That way could make it Lemony then, because Lemony writes to Beatrice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we do find out that Beatrice might be alive. It really seems like she
Beatrice
did
is
survive.
I think Beatrice is dead. The
They
way that
kept
he's...
saying she was dead,
She's
but
dead.
Maybe
there's something
she
in that
took
footage
the sugar bowl.
that we
Well,
got.
isn't it?
I thought you meant that it belonged to her originally.
Okay,
Oh, no, I thought
have we... Okay, I don't remember what I've read and what I've seen. Have we discovered who Beatrice is yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Okay, then I won't say anything because I think I know who she is.
Oh, there's spoilers.
So we
Yeah.
we did get. I don't remember when this happened, but I think it's already happened from where we are in the discussion. We get not necessarily a flashback, but we see the party at the VFD.
Yes.
We do.
Where we get to see a lot of the characters that have died throughout
Yeah.
season 1. We got to see Catherine O'Hara again,
And that made you
Ugh.
so happy.
Yeah.
sure did. And we get Elfie Woodard back, and
Uncle Morty,
Yeah.
Monty.
Monty.
Monty,
You know
yeah.
who I meant.
Yes.
Thank you.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
So we see all that, and the girl with the dressed as a dragonfly, which I think
is
was Beatrice.
Beatrice.
It was?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Well,
that's
I did not
why
compute that.
she it was a working costume or something because she flew away and that's how she survived. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking a leap, but I
But
thought
Larry,
that's
the
what,
waitress, was there too. Waiter.
He's not the
Larry, your
determinable
waiter.
gender henchman.
Who's my favorite
character in
henchman
the show.
outside of Esme?
Pretty much my favorite character in the show.
I love
I
how
will
he
say
actually got to play more into the indeterminable gender in this season. Like, there was a little bit of it last season, but he actually gets to do so much more, or they get to do so much more with that in this season.
He's
And they
representationally
got-
gender fluid.
And they got to play Nurse Luca Font again.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Well, so this is all leading us to the two-parter finale where they mention repeatedly that there's a pack of starving lions running around.
These are my two
The
favorites.
pack
of
of
the season.
starving lions in the pit.
Yep.
Yeah, these are my two favorite episodes.
I will agree with Kylie.
Mhm.
Me too.
Yes.
I actually got to watch them twice because I watched them once myself, and then Selene
Had to catch
had
up.
to
Had to catch up.
Because she didn't fall asleep.
Selene is falling asleep.
It's all coming out now. No, I love this whole. I love the whole. I think creepy carnivals are creepy.
Yeah, that's true. It's in the name.
Yeah, there was lots of carnivorous stuff going on.
I really enjoyed all of the people who thought they were freaks and they were trying to tell them they weren't, and they just,
I'm ambidextrous.
that was my favorite one.
Yeah.
I'm cursed with being able to use both.
There was more humor. I liked Sarah Rue posing as the fortune teller.
Madame
Madame
Lulu.
Lulu.
Madame Lulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the episode we get the flashback to the masked ball. I don't know why I thought it was earlier. And then we find out Madame Lulu, we learn more about the fire from Madame Lulu.
And how Madame Lulu is just it's just a general disguise of anyone in the VFD who needs it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right. Olivia took over for whoever the most recent Madame Lulu, and that's...
And we
the way
don't
it
know who
timed
that
out.
is,
No,
right?
we
No.
don't, but I feel like she left to go to hospital, because Olivia was already took her place.
Should we care about that previous fortune teller?
I think we might need to.
Yeah, because who else is alive
Yeah,
in the
who-
VFD?
Yeah.
Not a lot of
Larry.
people.
Larry, your waiter.
Yeah. Are we going to get more of Larry?
Yes.
I mean, I don't
We
see
better.
I think he's like the MVP.
Yeah. We also, what is her name? Jacqueline, the secretary?
Jacqueline.
Oh, Jacqueline,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's got to be more
Jacqueline.
of her, right?
Yeah.
Where did we leave off with her? When was the last time we saw her?
We definitely see her this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just am trying to remember where.
I probably,
She's the one who sends Larry. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we see her after
Yeah.
after the
Little
Austere
bit.
Academy.
Okay.
I'm not.
She'll probably be back in season
Because
3.
we spent more time
Yeah.
we'll be at Esme and Olivia, kind of.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the tension between Esme and Lulu.
Yeah.
She was like, I know what you're doing.
I
Again,
generally enjoyed the tension of these two episodes. I mean, it felt like it kicked up a notch.
Yeah.
It definitely did, all the way up until Lulu getting killed. Like,
Yeah.
I did not...
I enjoyed watching the two-headed freak eat corn.
All right. I don't know what to say.
I was just like that's what they made them do. Like, of all the things. It's very creative and also would be very challenging.
It would.
And amongst that group, they would be the only ones that would have, like, fallen in the definition of circus freaks back then. I forget, what were all of them? They all had...
One was a contortionist.
You had the ambidextrous,
And then the other
person-
one was a hunchback, but they just watched him put coats on. That was his thing. He had to try to put coats on.
So, at the circus, the kids discover more films and books, and basically all the information they can ever want, but they, of course, don't get to see all of it. That's where they meet Olivia, and she reveals her alias as a VFD agent, even though she's the agent with the least amount of information for them.
Of
Well, what
course.
can you
Because she's
do?
the newest agent.
Oh, yeah, least senior, man.
That's... well, and she's dead. But
Well,
that's...
Wow. Not then.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. We've talked about it 7 times.
We also mentioned it in the first 5 minutes
We
of
did.
this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because Esme wants Lulu to be the one who dies, because she thinks Lulu,
Is going after Olaf.
Yeah.
which she is not. Olaf wants the kids dead, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
They're
then
the
he'll
ones-
inherit. So when Olaf
But he
tries...
won't inherit at this point.
Yeah.
Like, he
No, he's not the guardian.
doesn't
He's not,
get any money.
but
He
he's
just gets
still-
them dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's now.
So that's why he
vendetta
wants
for him.
them dead, because before he only wanted... Oh, I think he thinks he can get it if he kills the other two and has Sunny.
Right, because he does want to keep Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause- yeah.
Which is where we end up ending it, is we don't know what's happening to Violet and Klaus.
I mean, they're
Well, yeah, because Olaf...
Careening
speeding
down.
towards their impending doom.
Yeah.
As the gang is all on the way to, what, the Mortimer Mountains? Or
Sure.
The
Yeah,
VFD
the
headquarters in the Mortimer Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think is gonna happen in Season 3? What do we want to see?
Well, Sunny, or not Sunny, Violet and Klaus not die.
Yeah. They're going to escape.
Yep.
Hopefully
Because
the
we've got more
Quagmires will save
episodes.
them.
Yeah, that'd be nice if the Quagmires came back.
Mm-hmm.
And the
The,
parent
the,
What is
the
the
hot
last-
air balloon just floats by.
That's
Yeah.
the last time we saw them was in
was floating
The
away
Vile-
with...
the Vile Village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were floating away with Hector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So
need
it'd
to
be
come
nice
back.
if they came back, if their parents came back. That'd be
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
I think one of their parents is dead. We think their parents are dead, and then we find out. Don't we find out one of them survived a fire, or somebody?
Someone survived a fire. Whomever
We don't
that
know
person.
who
It
survived.
could even be Jacques, for all we know.
Yeah.
Oh, Jacques survived the fire.
Yeah.
and
Could
now he's
be.
dead anyway.
Although he's the one who gave the information,
He
so I
is.
guess he can't unless he's sneak previewing his own.
I don't know.
I don't
feel
think
like
he is.
Yeah.
Someone,
some
wink, wink,
trickeration.
survived the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless there was some trickeration for him, I feel like he's pretty much done. Cause yeah.
Yeah, the most I
Yeah.
think we'll see of him is in a video.
Flashback or
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if we're gonna see the Baudelaire parents.
I feel like we should.
Maybe in like a flashback would be nice.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think we're gonna see them in the present though.
Because they burned all the
Season
videos
3.
and books, so there's no... I mean, there might be something surviving hidden somewhere in the
Right.
headquarters, but
Yeah.
it
'cause-
seemed like Madame Lulu had the last bit of information
Yeah.
and Count Olaf burned it up.
Well, let me rephrase your question because we're going into the final 7 episodes, so this
We
is
are.
the end of the series.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, aside from maybe because Kristen knows, what's the end game of this whole business? Do they find a guardian and live happily ever after? Or do they find their parents and live happily ever after because they were never really dead? Or do they find somebody else and live happily ever
Or
after?
do they not live happily ever after?
Right.
Or do we
These
not
are a lot of
know?
questions. Oh, you think we might end with
I
that
don't know.
knowing?
I don't know. As I said, I haven't read the books. I know an ending-ish, but I don't know if that's how the series is going to end it.
Because that's my struggle with this particular fantasy set of novels because I don't know where I want it to end. It's a very unfortunate series of events. So does that mean that's what their destiny is and they're just going to end on a bad luck and we're going to go, aw, because that was the end?
Would
I
that be
know.
Or
satisfying?
do they
No.
end up with
No.
no
Why not? That's why I
guardians
kept
Yeah.
saying happily ever after.
and the only people left with the VFD
Like-
trying to figure out a way to make themselves the VFD of the future?
Yeah, what age can you...
They could be the VFD, the next
They could.
generation.
Well,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, what if
Everybody
all of
else
the
dies and
VFD
they're
is
the
just
only
gone,
one-
and they're the only
they're the
ones
only
trying
ones
to
left.
reconstruct what it used to be
Even though they don't know
in
what
some
it was.
secret place somewhere away?
What did the
Jack-
VFD do other than battle Count Olaf now? He was
That's what-
an
Count
ally.
Olaf
He was
used
part
to
of
be
it.
part of the
Right.
VFD,
Part of it.
so I'm
I
assuming
don't
this
know.
is all a faction. This
So
is
we're
like a
probably gonna
civil
get-
war in the
That's,
VFD.
that
We'll
is
have to
what
get
we're
more
getting in
of
that flashback.
The history of the VFD and what they actually do in this next season.
Well, aren't they?
Yeah, I
They
hope
put
that
out
happens.
fires.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they do, but what kind of fires?
But are they
Are they
always?
fires?
Yeah.
Figurative
They're
fires.
figurative fires.
They're fixers. These
Yeah.
are all just the
They're
fixers.
the men in black.
a little bit. I don't know. Well, didn't Lemony Snicket say like he's retelling the story of what happened to them? Or
This is Klaus.
Or is
Let me
he more
Snickett's
like?
just an adult Klaus.
Oh,
But
that'd
I
be a
don't
good
know if
twist.
that would work with how...
Yeah.
Because I feel like all
Not
of
if he's
them...
talking to them in the next season anyway.
Yeah, or is Lemony Snicket like a detective and he's like putting together the pieces of the puzzle to solve the case of what happened to the Baudelaires? I don't know.
Can you guys hear my cats?
Oh,
Yeah.
The kitty's got things to say.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They're mini VFD agents trying to tell us stuff.
Maybe.
But we can't
Yeah.
translate it. Oh no.
They read the books.
See, that's why I'm struggling with this, because it's a very dark story. And is it satisfying to end darkly at the end of a dark story, or is it satisfying to actually get past the darkness?
Both.
I think it needs to get past the darkness.
That's what I think too.
I think Count Olaf needs to be no longer a threat to them for me to
Yes.
enjoy the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to be reunited with the Quagmires, and we need to get a lot of, maybe not all of, but a lot of the answers about what the VFD does. Something satisfying about the Sugar Bowl.
Find out at least what happened to their parents.
And
Yeah,
what
what-
And
Lemony-
what's up with Beatrice? Like,
Yeah,
why are we always
Beatrice?
hearing about her?
Why do we care about Beatrice?
Yeah, you don't go a single episode without being reminded about her.
This
Yeah.
is indeed the case, so that's where I'm at. And I just hope that they land somewhere where, even if it's not puppies and rainbows, it's something better than what they've had.
Fantasy ending for me, they end up back with the judge. In the very
Oh,
first
yeah.
episode.
Joey
Oh,
Cusack.
yes.
Yep.
She's the best guardian that isn't dead.
She's not a guardian at all.
Oh,
She's
she
just
was.
an extra
wasn't
member.
even the
She
guardian.
was the guardian.
She could be.
But she could be.
She should have been.
She was very close, in terms of proximity.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are now in relation to that town, but
Oh yeah, this doesn't
Yeah.
seem like anything
Far away.
on the planet Earth at this point.
is any of it really?
I don't know.
I don't know, let
We
me
do.
stumble upon the hinterlands and I'll let you know.
We do, as just a little thing. All of Count Olaf's disguises is part of a VFD
Yep.
Yeah.
disguise kit.
It is, which was interesting.
So I wouldn't mind seeing Lemony Snicket dressed up as some of those characters. I guess.
What do we think the VFD is? What does anybody else think the VFD is? Other than a fire department fixing Men in Black agency.
Yeah, they just seem like problem solvers to me. I don't know
But
what
whose
they're spies. The world's?
Okay.
They're like super.
I don't know. That's what I want to find out.
Now, ironically, what if they're literally just a group of people who are creating it's like the world's biggest escape room for themselves. Like, this is all just a setup to give themselves things to do that got terribly out of hand. Because their ways of figuring out their crypto things are so over the top that I almost have a hard time being like, you guys are just, like, playing, right?
Yeah, I mean, the subtitles in that movie, they filmed a movie for it.
Yeah.
And their message really didn't say much.
Go to Peru.
Yeah. So I don't
Sorry,
know.
that was
and
just my crack shot right there.
It's led to a lot of people dying, so it should probably be something more than just their own entertainment.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That would be very unfortunate.
That would, and I would probably end up hating the show if that was the thing that came out. I'm hoping everything pays off in a satisfying way. If it doesn't, I'm not reading the books. I said it
What
here
if-
first.
Oof.
What if the VFD was an acting troupe?
Oh no.
Count
I
Olaf
count all
did-
of
Oh.
winner. That's the Civil War.
Because
I don't
he's
know.
the
I think-
best actor.
I don't know. I feel like the VFD has to be some sort of secret service spy agency.
Saving the world.
Yeah, I'm kind of in
Yeah.
that
It's just
camp.
like, yeah.
That makes the most
World.
sense. Well, then that would be why Count Olaf is the best actor and really good at disguises.
Is
I
he
didn't
the
say
best
he
actor?
was the best
No,
actor.
he thinks he's the best
He thinks he's
actor.
the best actor.
You know.
Well, and he's always trying to get the Baudelaire money, and it sounds like the Quagmires had money. So, like, is something that have to do with the VFD? Were they finding
And
treasure?
they have tattoos. That seems awfully committed
Yeah.
for being just actors.
Count
I don't know,
Olaf
I
is
don't
playing the
remember.
long game by
Yeah.
pretending to be a bad actor.
Yikes.
That's way too next level, Selene.
Well, the thing is, he's not a good actor, but he convinces everyone but the Quagmires and Baudelaires when he's wearing a costume. Seems to be working, especially with the pose.
I think the moral of this
Oh.
show is that kids are smart.
Yes.
That's
And
true.
that adults are too distracted with their own things to
To-
notice.
Yeah.
Or to care, yeah.
Is there a satisfying ending for the Poe family? Because we get them throughout. Is there
Like
anything?
Mr. they
Mr.
just
Poe
go away?
gets some
Oh,
costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to address his pneumonia.
Yeah.
I don't care about the pose.
So if they weren't in the next season, you wouldn't care at all.
No, I wouldn't cry.
Okay.
I don't know. I might miss Mrs. Poe. Her headlines in her articles are very entertaining. And her obsession with what's in and what's out, but only during that episode, highly amusing.
They add texture, but if it has to be the right texture. I think they're good for the comedy part, but what if we're going into all drama all the time?
Right.
I don't think we will.
I don't think you...
Mostly unfortunate drama. I'm sort of exaggerating, but really I don't care about those.
I have a couple more questions for y'all. How do you feel about the last 4 books are being turned into only 7 episodes?
Weird.
Do we think the last episode's just going to be a movie length?
I think so. It has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's usually you take up more time at the end of a show.
Not short.
You do less. Well, sometimes you do less episodes, but the last episode.
Well, there is
less
only
episodes with more stuff.
But there is only there's only 13 books. So
Right.
13 books.
Yeah.
Everything's in 13s in this series.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's very
So
unfortunate.
episode.
But it's 4 more books, and we've been doing 2 episodes
Per
for one
book.
But they've been
Yeah, there
about
was
45 minutes an episode. So if they just do an hour and a half, or maybe they'll do a 2-hour almost
This was an
movie.
odd.
Yeah.
This was an even number of episodes, but an odd number of books this season.
Yeah.
I think I follow you. It was
Yeah.
Because
5.
it was 4 books the first season.
Then
5
there was
books
5.
the second season.
which gave us 10 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Well, for you answered that one. How
Next
do you
question.
feel about that last, or one of those episodes? I don't know if it's the last episode, but they crammed a lot of exposition into the first one. So
I feel
I
feel like
exposition.
the episode 7 is going to be the feature length. So instead of breaking it up into 2, they just did it as 1.
And hopefully they don't spend any
Yeah.
time on exposition, because
I don't think they will because they
limited
Because it's
time.
going to pick up exactly where it left
off.
off.
you
It
think
has to, right?
they'll make more jokes about how Sunny looks a lot older than the time that's gone through?
Unless
her.
they got another baby.
I
I
like
don't think they do.
I think they just.
But that's what they
I
did for the
thought it was
Austere
twins that
Academy.
played the
Picks up
baby.
right where they left
What?
I thought it was twins that played the one baby.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's twins, and I think they will keep the
But
same
then
one.
it's
Yeah.
Tara Strong that does like the sounds that
Vocalization.
Sunny
Yeah.
makes.
And this is coming out really soon from when we're recording, but with
2
less,
weeks after we publish.
less time in between seasons 2 and 3
Yeah.
than 1 and 2.
Well, didn't they film them like almost right away?
I think
I
they
think
probably
they
did.
filmed
Yeah.
2 and
Because
3
they knew
together.
what they
the
were
kids.
doing.
Yeah, because of
aging.
I was gonna say, like, watch Klaus's voice change.
Yeah.
That was already started
Yeah, there's
this
that.
season.
I know.
Yeah. All right, so are you going to keep watching?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I mean, at this point,
Yes.
Yep.
I have to know the things.
Mhm.
It's very unfortunate that I'm in this position. But
So
yes.
We've got a lot of fun actors playing all these different parts. Is there any actors you think would fit in really well for season 3 that we haven't seen yet?
I will not answer because I've seen the trailer.
Oh,
So I think Jen and I.
I
should
mean,
stay silent.
Kelsey mentioned John Hamm, so you never know.
Yeah.
John Hamm.
I want John Hamm to come on screen so I can see them right next to each other.
You can mind your Joss Whedon people. That would work.
Felicia Day.
Felicia, I mean, you might as well. You had the other 2. Let's do a whole Dr. Marvel
I need
thing.
Alan Tudyk. We had Nathan Fillion. I need
Tudyk.
Alan
I would
Tudyk.
take that.
Let's do some Firefly action.
I would just out of nowhere take a Paul F. Tompkins because I think he's
Yes!
hilarious in everything he does.
Yes!
And I think he'd play a goofy character really well.
Or Paget Brewster.
Both of them as a married
Yes!
couple.
maybe
Thrilling
you want to
adventure
imagine?
Yep.
I have nothing to add.
Any last elements of the show you want to talk about?
We covered it.
I'm good too.
Covered
We did.
everything. So with that being said, thank you, Kelsey, Selene, Kristen, Jenn, and Kylie for joining us in this discussion. It sounds like we'll all be back for the final episode discussing season 3 of
Whoop, whoop.
Lemony Snicket. Who knows how long it'll take us to record it, but it is,
But
it is
we
coming out
will.
soon.
We will. We will persevere. We've persevered so far, and we'll persevere for yet a few more seconds because CPU is produced by Back Pocket Productions and is truly the Chief Couch Potato and hails from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Please, if you like what you hear, would you take the time to rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play? That means give us stars, comments, reviews, and let us know how we're doing, what you like, what you don't, what we should keep, what we shouldn't keep. Did you like the series of unfortunate events? Because it was very unfortunate. If you have suggestions on shows you might consider, contact us at our website, couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com, via email at couchpotatoesunitepodcast@gmail.com, or via our social media, Facebook and Twitter, though of course we add new and old shows to chat about around the water cooler all the time, as our intro states, and we have several more new episodes coming down the pipe. If you miss old episodes or want to know in general what we cover, just find us on Google because it's so easy to do, and you can come to our website and subscribe, as well as subscribe to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. Until the next time, all available seasons of A Series of Unfortunate Events are available to stream on Netflix, because that's the company that made it. In the meantime, our A Series of Unfortunate Events panel will next reconvene for a third and final time following the release of the third season on January 1st, 2019, as Nick told you. And in that final episode, we'll also review the final season and briefly look back at the show as a whole, just because it'll be done now and we can kind of, digest. We'll see when that happens, as Nick also said. In the meantime, until next episode, new episodes published every Wednesday. Keep listening, keep watching, stay tuned. Bye!